Welcome back to Dream Heal Thrive. And this is a space where we talk about, honestly, about healing, growth, and becoming who we're meant to be in this next chapter.
And I'm Charisse, and I'm here with Monet. And today we're reflecting on something 2025 taught us. Not just the surface, but underneath, not the fluff, not the cute stuff, but the real challenges.
Yeah. Because when we look back on 2025, some of the biggest lessons just weren't the wins or losses or just the growth, right?
Yeah, it's really about the lessons you learn because as you know, if you continue to do the same thing, you're going to get the same results. So learning the lesson from what you go through, whether it's good or the challenge, because I don't like to say bad, but the challenge, because you have to learn something from it in order for you to grow and to get to that next level in your life. So the ones that kept trying to get our attention are the ones we're going to focus on today.
Yeah. And so this we actually called this episode the lessons beneath the lessons, right? Because it's not just the obvious ones. I did this, I did that, I was able to do this, but really looking deeper into those lessons and what it revealed to us about ourselves, not just that
Mhm.
superficial or, just what's obvious in the lesson, but what's beneath it.
And so I like that you say what's beneath it because we always talk about surface stuff. We always talk about the things that are the most visible, but we don't talk about the things that we feel that we can handle. We're just going to, put that to the side. So one of the biggest things that I noticed, and I know you noticed this as well, is how much we had been tolerating, not because we're weak, but because we're strong and loyal to a fault, and used to being the ones holding it all together. That strength word, I'm strong and being strong, it's really just tolerating more than what we should. So,
Mm,
we kept telling ourselves, it's fine, I can handle it, it's not that serious. But 2025 kept kicking us in that butt and showing
yeah.
us, it's hurting us, it's draining us, it's frustrating us. And it kept trying to teach us something about the tolerant part of the lesson. What you
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely that. And just really challenging ourselves in this next year as we strive to be our best selves in this next chapter, just really digging deeper, right? And so another big lesson for us has been how much we overextend
think?
ourselves. And I know we have said this before, all of us talk about it, just putting too much on our plate, but
Mhm.
it's also it's about really feeling responsible for everything, like taking it all on. Like we are responsible for it
Yeah.
all. And so we will push through, we keep showing up, we're being dependable, all the things for everyone, even when we're tired. And who's that really serving? Are we even
Right.
showing up as our full self if we're still tired, right? If we
Mhm.
are not replenishing ourselves and not learning to say no, then, eventually we hit burnout. And, it's not just physical, it can be emotional and spiritual. It's our body saying, pay attention. And let me tell you something. I had that crystally clearly laid out for me last year because when, my family, I had pulls on my family, my relationship, my business, and I started getting this pain in my left arm.
Mm.
And it just got worse and worse. And I didn't go to the doctor because I'm too daggone busy. When
Right.
I this year, or towards the end of last year and into this year, when I let it all go, and I just started taking time for me, getting myself some rest, the arm don't hurt no more.
Nope.
It
Nope.
doesn't hurt anymore.
And your body is going to tell you. Your
Yes,
body is going to
yes.
tell you because think about it. When we talk about overextending ourselves and burning out, one of the things I've learned was stop saying yes to everything.
Mm.
Just shut up. You don't have to respond. Let them talk. Because I was I want to put on this cape and I want to rescue everybody. I want to make sure they're good. And I tap myself out doing it. And what happens is after you after you say, yeah, I'll do it for you, you think to yourself, why did I do that? And now you're kicking yourself because you know you did not want that responsibility, but out of habit, out of
Mhm.
obligation, out of hoping to make somebody feel better, you
Mhm.
put on that rescue symbol again.
Yep.
Here I am trying to rescue somebody else while digging a bigger hole for myself. And I
Yeah.
was just like, why do I keep doing it? So I had to practice just shutting up. I just
Mhm.
had to practice it. So, and it was hard. It was hard in your mind. You're like, ooh, I could, ooh, I feel it. I had to just shut up. Don't say nothing. Because sometimes even learning how to say no is hard. So if you start being silent in the beginning, then once you have that emotional control, then once you have set those boundaries, then you're able to start saying no. But girl, it was a trying year when it came to extending. But I
Yeah.
I learned my lesson the hard way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's when it shifted. Both of us had those moments inside that just said, I can't keep doing it. I keep burning myself out. I keep reliving the same thing over and over again. And I just can't keep doing this. It has to stop. I have to get
Yeah.
off this hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Because you're going and you're going, but you're not going anywhere. You keep
Nowhere.
dealing with the same trauma, dealing with the same hurt, dealing with the same. And like I told you before, you're breaking your own heart when you don't allow the pivot that's happening to happen. When you're
Yeah.
fighting it tooth and nail, it's not anger, it's not dramatical, it's just honesty. That's when I had that aha moment, that breakthrough, when I realized the real lesson wasn't about trying harder to win people over. It was about respecting myself more and setting those boundaries.
Yes. Yes. Because honey, we will get off the hamster wheel and then get back on. Getting back on. But it's really about like, you know, what do we do with what we're learning, right? So we have these lessons from 2020, 25. Sorry.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
so it's about asking ourselves, what do we do with this awareness? So one of the main things I started realizing was I need to better manage my emotions. So now what do I do with this awareness, right? And
mhm,
so naming those patterns, naming the things that we've been doing, and it's not about beating ourselves up, right? It's just really about opening up our awareness so that we can do something with these lessons to make them living that make them come alive in our
yeah.
lives, right? Not to just stay out there in the ether. It's like, oh yeah, I learned this, I learned that, I learned it. But okay, what
Right.
you doing about it? What you doing about it, right? So sometimes to help us with that, right, is to ask ourselves, what did this cost me? Because if
Mm.
you start looking at the cost of lessons,
Ooh, that's a good one.
you're going to say, okay, wait, I don't want to pay that cost. I don't want to pay my peace. I don't want to pay my energy. I don't want to pay my joy, right? I don't want to pay those costs again, right? And then we can choose our boundaries clearer, how to
Mhm,
honor ourselves moving forward better, and not over explaining why we're doing things
mhm.
differently.
That's a good one.
Not everyone's going to understand. That's okay. As long as we understand it, that's
Yeah.
that's what's most important. And just not overcommitting and also giving ourselves some rest. I learned that
Ooh,
at
yeah.
the end of the year, I just had to sit my butt down. Just sit down, Monet, because it
Yep,
was costing me my peace, my
yeah.
energy, my joy. And I was no longer willing to give those things up. We have to, and we were just talking about this a little while ago, learn to sit with the discomfort, right? Sit
Yes.
with that discomfort of,
Yes.
okay, I need to rest, but oh God, I need to go do this. I need to do that. I need to get this done. That's uncomfortable, right? Because
Yeah.
it's in our head, all the things we need to be doing instead of resting.
Mhm.
But if we don't do it and just work through that discomfort, we're going to just go back to our old habits, and we don't want to do that.
Oh, absolutely. That's why, like, at the beginning of the year, I said, okay, we pick our word for the year. And this time I was so, so, so intentional about the word and not just creating a word for the year, but actually a word that I will put action behind it. So
Mhm.
when you were talking about what did it cost me, asking yourself different questions, I asked myself, okay, is this elevating me? Is it
Mhm.
elevating my body? Did I move my body today? Is it elevating my peace? Is it elevating my income? What is it doing to elevate me? If it's not doing those things, that I should not be doing it.
Right.
Because when we talk about explaining, I was big about that. Even at work, I would answer the question that was given to me, but then I'm over explaining. And I had to say, why am I over explaining? I said what I said.
Right.
And that's it. Why do I feel the need to explain my answer? If I gave you my answer, that's my answer.
Hello.
So I had to say, girl, why do you feel the need to keep going? You said
Right.
what you said, and that's it. You let them figure out the rest. That's not your
It's
concern. You
not
said what
yours.
you
Yeah.
said, you responded, and keep it moving. And that's the discomfort, because
Mhm.
the old
Yep.
habit
Yep.
would have made me say, okay, let me explain why I said what I said.
Right.
No, I'm gonna be uncomfortable for a minute,
Mhm.
to let this pass, because this is a pivot. This is doing something different. So
Yeah.
let me just sit with it and and deal with it. And that's how I defined my strength after
Mhm.
2025, is creating my environment that is
Mhm.
going to elevate me, and not just succumb to doing the things that I've always done. If I'm really serious about changing my life for the better and doing the work where I have the life I want to create, I'm creating that life and putting action with it. I have to actually step into my strength. And
Mhm.
strength isn't doing everything anymore, it's being honest about what we need. Is
Right.
choosing peace over proving. And that over explaining is trying to prove. No, we're not
That's
doing
right.
it anymore. And then
Yep.
just trusting that we don't have to sacrifice ourselves to feel worthy.
So, okay, if you are listening and you see yourself in any of this, just know you're not alone. You are not alone and you're not behind, right? It's not a race. It's not a race. So we're not behind. We're doing the best that we can.
Yeah. And you're learning when you're going into a new phase in your life and you're going into a new version. That in between stage is the hardest stage, because
Mhm.
that's where confidence is actually built, because you're stepping into something that you've never done before. It's scary, but
Mhm.
you don't want to be, or you're not even comfortable in the version that you were in 2025. So being more intentional, it helps you learn more about yourself, but it makes you stronger in the outcome.
Yeah. Yeah. Your word is elevate. Mine is intention. That's what
Yeah.
drives me this year. It's driving me this year.
Mhm.
Um, and 2025 is not just about what happened to us. We're not just what happened, right? We learn things. We're getting better every day. We're getting better every day. We
Yeah,
just
and
got
I
to keep
think,
our eye on the prize.
yes, definitely. And I really think that 2025 is what awakened it in us.
Mhm.
We woke up. We were more aware of what we were doing.
Mhm.
So we were able to stop ourselves before we
Yes.
fell back into those old
Right.
habits. And it
Yeah.
was about being stretched.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
stretched and had no choice. It was like sink or swim. You want to stay here and you want to keep going through this loop over and over again and not getting anywhere, or do you want to do something to change? So the will to want to change, the will to want to grow, and
Mhm.
to be aware of where we're falling back, and then turning back and saying, no, 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 no. Keep on going forward. We're not going back. So that was an awakening for us as well. So what do
Right.
you think about it?
No, I agree. I agree. Like we were saying, that lesson beneath the lesson, right?
Mhm.
Not just, okay, I learned that I need to pay more attention to my finances, okay?
Mhm.
But also looking at what's underneath that. What keeps showing up around
Mhm.
my finances? Or what keeps showing up around my relationships, right? Not just I learned to speak up for myself or whatever, right? okay, what are the lessons beneath the lessons? Let's just go a little bit deeper on
Mm,
what 2025 showed us and just really pay attention to those things that keep showing up. Those are things we really need
mhm.
to put our eye on and start addressing. Like me with emotional management, absolutely. My emotions will over, take over. That's one of the things that keeps showing up for me. So I know I have a big job to do on emotional management.
And with me, I shut down. I shut down very, very quickly. So I've been working on that and tackling it and not pushing it under the rug just by shutting down. Why
Right.
do I feel I need to shut down? And addressing that and saying,
That's
okay,
the lesson beneath the lesson, right?
yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
And honoring what life is trying to teach me. If this keeps showing up,
Right.
you have to learn something from it, or it's going to keep on showing up in different packages and in different people. But that lesson is going to keep on showing up until you learn what you need to learn from it.
Yep. Yep. I'm really looking at life to see what is it teaching me? What is it trying to teach me? Just trust yourself to just live differently, do the work, move differently, really paying attention, really paying attention.
Yeah, and this new season, this new year is about dreaming boldly and healing intentionally and thriving on your own terms. You have
Yes.
control over this. You're in control of the things that you accept, the boundaries that you set, the way you react to things. You are in control. And that
Mhm.
awareness helps you see those things and lets you know that you are in control.
Yeah, yeah. So if you like this and you got something out of today's talk, please comment, like, subscribe. We want to hear from you. What are some of the things that keep showing up for you? What are some of the lessons that you're going to look beneath for 2020 so we can make this the best year yet? This next chapter, for me, it's my final chapter, y'all. Paying attention. I'm paying attention to this chapter.
Yes, yes, definitely. Of course, always tag us, Dream, Heal, and Thrive, and we will comment. And we do read all of our comments, so we will answer you and support you on this new chapter because we all need each other, and support is very important in this journey. You don't have to do it alone.
Yes. Well, take care. We'll see you next week.
Bye.